ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थे सुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म हृदयादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। We are reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 90, verse number 22. So this is continuation of the Prem Vachati, description of the queens, how out of intense love they feel separation from Krishna even when he is present with them. So we read previous verses addressed to Kurri, Chakravaki, ocean, clouds, so on, Kokila. So now it's being addressed to the mountain. न चलसी न वदसी उदार बुद्धे क्षितिधर चिंतयसे महांतमर्थम अपीबत वसुदेव नंदनांघ्रिम वयमिव कामयसे स्तनैर्विधर्तुम। So he says that, O mountain, O with the generous intelligence, you neither move nor you speak anything. It appears that you are having deep meditation on some important subject, and maybe you are also meditating on the feet of Sri Krishna, just like we want to keep his feet on our breast, you also want to keep his feet on your peak-like breasts. Means you desire that Krishna walk on you, and that will be your pleasure. So although mountain is considered as a male, but they are imagining him also as a female, and the peaks being the breasts. So this is the influence of their meditation on Krishna. They are imposing their own bhava onto the mountain. So he Kshitidhara Raivataka Parvata. So this mountain is the Raivataka Parvata, which is in Dwarka. Nunam tvam mahantam artham svabhipshitam chintayasi. Indeed you are meditating, and that's why you are not moving. You are like in a state of deep samadhi. Mountains are called achala, means they don't move. So it's like when somebody sits in deep meditation, does not move. So like that you are also immovable, and you are meditating. Ato batiti idaim va tava bhipsitam iti artha. And this indeed is your desirable, that you also desire Krishna's feet. That is your abhipsita desirable. Vayam yatha stanai dhartum kamayamahe tatha tvam stanaihi kim vodhum kamayase. Just as we wish to put Krishna's feet on our breast, do you also wish to do that? They ask the question. Om iti chet tarhi tavapi asmad avastha bhavishyati iti bhava. And if you say yes, then you will be in the same situation as we. Means you will have same kind of trouble as we are facing. You will be just in distress in separation. So that's how they are conjecturing. And then they are speaking to the rivers. Shishyad hrada karshitavat sindhu patnya samprati apasta kamala shriya ishta bhartuho yadvad vayam madhupate pranayavalokam aprapya mushta hridaya purukarshitasma. O Sindhu Patnis, the wives of the ocean, that is the rivers, we see that your ponds are dry, Shushadharda, Karshita, and you are also drying up, you are thin, not much water. And Samprati Apasta Kamala Shriya, so you are free from the beauty of the flowers because they are not growing due to lack of water. Ishta bhartu yadvad vayam madhupate. You are also looking for your husband, you are desiring for that, just like we are desiring the association of our husband Krishna. Pranayavalokam aprapya mushti hridaya purukarshitasma. And just as we have lost our heart and we are feeling very emaciated because we are not getting the glance, the loving glance of Krishna on us, like that you are also feeling separation and getting dry, not getting enough water. भो सिंधु पत्न्यो नद्या संप्रति यूयम शिष्य धीरदास्था. O wives of the ocean, the rivers, we see that at present you are with dried up lakes. Tatra karnamahu, and the reason for that is ishta bhartuhu sindhu patni namapi yo abhishta sukprado bharta yadupati tasya pranavlokam prapya. That you are not getting the glance of Krishna, who is the master of the Yadus, which gives pleasure to you. So he is not looking at you. Pranayavlokam aprapya. Yadvad vayam pranayavlokam aprapya musthardya vanchita chittasma tadvadeva yuyam. So just as we are not getting his loving glance on us, you are also not getting it. And that just as he has stolen our heart, vanchit chitta, your heart is also stolen by Sri Krishna, and therefore you are dried up. So they are imposing their own state onto the rivers. Hamsah swagatam asyatam piba payo bruhi angam saure katham dutam tvam nu vidam kachidajita swastyaste uktam pura kim vanaschal shohida smarti tam kasmad bhajamo vayam chadralape kamdam shriyamrite sevekanishtha striyam. Then they see a swan and speak to him, Hansa Swagatam, O swan, welcome to you. Ashyatam, please come here, sit down. Piba payo, and drink some milk. Bruhi anga shaureh katham, and give us the news about Sri Krishna, the descendant of Surset. Dutam tvamnu vidama, we know you to be the messenger. So Sri Rupa Goswami wrote Hamsaduta Kavya, poetry, making Hamsa as the messenger. So he probably bases it on this sloka, because here the queens are saying that you are the messenger of Krishna. Therefore we want to hear from you what is the message. Dutam tvamnu vidama kachid ajitaha swasti aste. Is Ajita doing well? Is he fine? Uktam pura. And he has spoken to us that he loves us and we are his beloved. But kimva naschala sauhrida. But what is the use of having friendship with such a person? Because he is chala hrida, chala sauhrida, that his friendship is unstable, not fixed. Smarati, does he remember that he made some statements to us? Tam kasmad bhajamo vayam. Certainly he does not remember, therefore why should we worship him? Why should we run after him? Kshodra alapaya kamdam shriyamrite. And you are also the messenger of that petty person. Kshudra means insignificant, and Kshadra means one who belongs to that Kshudra. So you are the Kshudra, alapaya, talk to us, kamdam shriyamrite. So he is supposed to give kama, he is supposed to give satisfaction to us, but he is only with Sri, that is Lakshmi, and does not care for anyone else. Is it that saeva ekanishta striyam? Is it that she is the only one who has fixity on him and therefore she is with him and no one else can be like him. Is this the way? And if that is the case, then why shall we bother about her? So in this way they are as if having a dialogue with the swan. Kamapi hamsam dutam prakalpya ahu hamsaiti. So seeing some swan and imagining him to be messenger, they speak like that. Nanu bhavatir vinasa katham swasti aste. So they asked him that, is Ajita fine? So as if the swan is saying that how can he be fine without you? Iti chet uktam pura iti. So he says there he speaks so many things, but he does not remember because he is Ajita. He cannot be controlled, he cannot be bound by anybody. Natu tvadrashim prananim grihinim grihesu pashyami ityadi swaprem vakyam smarati kim. So Uktam Pura means he said to us that I cannot find wives like you anywhere. Does he remember all those lovely statements that he spoke to us? Kim vachal sarhidam sanasmarti. He whose friendship is flickering, does he remember us? Nanu smritva eva mam prasthapitvan atastadantike antikam chalata. So as if Hamsa is saying that of course he remembers you and that's why he has sent me to you. So you should come and be near him. Tam bhajta iti tatrahu, and do service to him. So then they say kasmad bhajamo vayam, why shall we serve him? Sached asmanne bhajet napi avgachati tari vayam kasmad bhajame kasmad vayame. So if he does not do our bhajan, means he does not come to us, then why shall we do his bhajan? Why shall we go to him? Bho karuna sindhava tarhi kam piditasya tasya katham nistara. So then the Hamsa is saying that, oh, you who are the ocean of mercy, he is suffering from kama, then what will be the solution for that? How will he get free from this suffering? So then they say, hey Kshodra, Kshudrasya Duta, that you, a messenger of that insignificant fellow, Alapaya, Tatraiva tam kamdam kam piditam darshan matrenaiva kam pida pradam akarya. He says, then you should bring him here. So there is translating the word alapaya. Generally alapa, sanlapa, vilapa, these are used in the sense of speaking. But he takes another meaning. He says, you should bring him here, tam kamdam. So kamdam is the one who gives trouble because of kama. Kam piditam api darshan matranaiva kam pida pradam. So it's taking the kamdam as a madhyam patalopi samas, one who gives kam prida, trouble. Just by his looks we get excited for love and then we suffer because he doesn't give us his company. Sasman ayatu natu garvatyo vayam tam yamaiti bhava. So out of pride they are saying that if he wants he can come to us. There is no possibility of that we go to him because we also have our own self-respect. We are not going to lower down our value and then just run behind him. Let him come. Omiti gachantam tam matva punarahu. So then as if he is saying, okay, I will go there, and he is ready to go. So then when he is going, then they speak to him. Yahi asman vanchitva ekakini ramte tam shriyam rite tameva kevalam akarya. He says, you go there and cheating us, he is enjoying only with that one, that is Lakshmi. So if you want to bring him here, bring him without her. Tam shriyam rite tameva kevalam akarya. Bring only him, not that he comes along with Shri. We don't want to see her. Nanu satadek nishtha katam parihartum shakya syat. So now the Hamsa says that how is that possible? Because she is completely devoted to him and she is not going to live without him. So she will come with him. So striyam iti jatav ekvachanam. So then they say striyam. That, so this is seventh ekvachan jati. So here, although it is singular, it refers to all of them. So it says trishu asmasu madhye saevakim eknishtha ekantaki natu vayam. So they are as if upset with him. He says, what nonsense are you talking? You think that only she is devoted to him and there is no one else? We all women are also devoted to him. Why do you think that she is the only one who is devoted? We also have one-pointed devotion, ekantaki, nishtha to him. Kshodra alapa kamadam iti pathe. So there is a difference in reading. Instead of kshodra alapaya kamadam, it is also kshodra alapakam kamadam. Alapam kamadam. So then it says, then the meaning of kshodra is madhu. Kshodra is also called another word for honey. So because you say you have the small bee, honey bee, and bigger one. So small honey bee is called kshudra because it is small. Choti makhi, badi makhi. In Hindi also you say like that. Choti makhi means small bee. So in Sanskrit also you say that kshudra. So this kshudra makes honey. That honey is called kshodra. Means the honey from the small bee. Honey from the big bee. There is a difference in the quality of the honey depending on which type of bee is making it. So therefore he takes the meaning of kshodra as honey. Tadvan madhur alapa. So kshodra alapa means sweet talk, like honey. And it is only a talk. Sweet talk is only a talk, there is no sweetness in it. Real, there is no sense behind it. Tam akamadam arati pradam. And therefore he is kshodra alapam akamadam. He does not love, he only talks. Tam vayam kasmad bhajama. So why shall we worship him? Kintu anadrita sati saiv punar bhajatu. But rather she, that is Lakshmi, let her worship him and being disrespected by him. Because he doesn't care for anybody. But we have self-respect, we are manini. Yato asmadrishyo maninya striya striyam strishu madhye ek nishtha ekatreva swaman siddho nishtha yasam. But we are eknishtha stri, means we are not running here and there after this person, that person. We don't run after him also. Our nishtha is in our self-respect. So that is our eknishtha. Strishu madhye ek nishtha ekatreva swaman siddho nishtha. So our nishtha is in our own man, in our own pride, in our own conceit, and we don't care. If he wants, he can come. Otherwise, he can take a walk and be with that Shri. But we are not going to demean us. We are not going to come down and beg him. So this is the end of their Prem Vechitti description. Iti drishena bhavena Krishna yogeshwareshware kriyamanena madhavyo lebhire paramam gatim. So in this way they had this bhava of anuraga in Sri Krishna, who is the Lord of Yogeshwaras, and kriyamanena madhavyo lebhire paramam gatim. So by this bhava, these beautiful queens, they attained the supreme goal, supreme destination. There is a difference in reading here. Instead of lebhire paramam gatim, it also says lebhire vaishnavim gatim. That they attained the Vaishnavi gati, or the state of being supreme devotees. That's how the commentary takes that reading. Tasam etadrish Shri Krishna Vishyak Bhavati Nam Kim Prapyam Vastu Iti Apekshayamaho. So Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that the queens who had this type of bhava, this type of anurag, prema for Sri Krishna, what is there that they have to achieve? There is nothing which is remaining to be achieved by them. They have everything what they want. But still it is said that they attained Vaishnavi Gatim, because he takes the reading of Vaishnavim Gatim and not Paramam Gatim. So therefore he comments on this word Vaishnavim. Vaishnavim, Vaishnav Prapyam. So Vaishnavi means that which is attained by a Vaishnava, a devotee. And what does a devotee want? He wants Prem Bhakti. So Prem Bhaktim evam tasam aprakriti nam Bhagwan Nitya Prayasi nam Sachidananda Vapasam Brahmaras Aswad Adhik Bhagwan Madhuryaspad nam Punar Mokshadi Phalam Prapti Abhav Sambhavat Premadhikyam eva ityartha. So what is the meaning that they attained Vaishnavi Gati or they attained Prem Bhakti? They already have Prema. This whole description was of the Prem Vechati. So what is there that they have to attain? So he says that they attained intensity of the Prema, Premadhikyam. Why? Because they are already transcendental, a Prakriti Nam, Tasam Prakriti Nam. And they are the eternal queens of Sri Krishna, Bhagavan Nitya Prayasi Nam. Sachidananda Vapusham, they have transcendental bodies, eternal, full of bliss. And Brahmaras Aswad Adhik Bhagavan Madhuri Aswadvati Nam. So they are tasting the sweetness of Bhagavan, which is superior to Brahmananda or Brahmaras Aswada. So Brahmanand Bhaved Chesha Parardha Gunikrita. So if Brahmananda is multiplied by Parardha millions, trillions of times, then it cannot be compared even to one drop from the ocean of bhakti. So the bliss of bhakti is of different category. There is no comparison between Brahmananda and Bhaktiananda. So they are already having that taste. So why they would want anything like that? And therefore when it is said they attained Vaishnavam Gati, means that they attained Premadhikyam. Because mokshadi phal prapti abhav sambhavat. It is not that they do not have the fruit of moksha or they are not liberated, they are already liberated. Or alternatively, yadva Vaishnavim Vishno tasyeva Krishnasya bhavaunmad pradhimna tadatmya mai rasa antardhane vraj sundariyo nana prashnadi ananta rasa unmadasya pradhimna yatha Krishnoham pashyat gatimiti Krishna tadatmya mai lebhire tathaiv etaapi kuraryadi prashnanantaram tameva ityartha. Or Vaishnav Gatim, he gives another meaning. Vaishnav means that which belongs to Vishnu. And Vishnu here means Sri Krishna. So, Krishnasya bhava unmad pradhimna. So that which is generated or which comes from Krishna, and that is the intense state of madness out of love. And this is such as was experienced. He gives an example. So just like the Vrajasundaris, the gopis, they searched Krishna when Krishna left the rasa dance. So then they went around searching Krishna. Then they were asking Mallika, they were asking Tulasi, they were asking the trees, river Yamuna, that have you seen him? Finally they came back and then they were imitating Krishna Leela. Somebody was saying, I am Krishna, and somebody was saying Yashoda and trying to bind Krishna. Another one was lifting Govardhan. So in this way they became so much absorbed and they became Krishnamayi. So that is the meaning of Vaishnavi Gati. Gati means the destination, place or mood, that which is of Krishna or which comes from Krishna. So they became identified with Krishna's mood, so much in love that they did not see any distinction between themselves and Krishna. So that is what he says, that tadatmya, they became tadatmya. So tadatmya means bheda sahishnu, abheda. That there is a distinction, but it is seen as non-distinction. It's like you take a piece of iron and you put into fire. So when it becomes red hot, then it has become tadatmya with fire. It has become one with fire because it will burn like fire. But still it is not fire. It's still iron only, but you will say it is fire. So it does not mean that the iron turns into fire, but iron becomes tadatmya, one with fire. And this type of tadatmya is called when the distinction is maintained and yet there is non-distinction. So similarly the gopis are still gopis, not that they have become Krishna, but they have identification with his mood, means as if they are Krishna.
Babaji, two questions I have here. So, he's describing this Leela Anubhava, which this technical Leela Anubhava. So, is he telling that this Anubhava is present in the queens?
That's what he's saying.
Because then that is problematic, I feel, because in Priti Sandarbha, Jiva Goswami will make one relationship when he quotes Bhishma. He will say that Bhishma talks about this particular pastime, and then he will say this links to Mahabhava, and because it links to Mahabhava, it is only possible in the gopis. So I don't know what is happening here.
Yeah, it is like that, but sometimes this heightened state of anuraga is like Mahabhava.
Okay, so
See,
because
these are all moods. It is not that it gets cut off here
yeah.
and then it starts like that. So some of the characteristics can manifest.
Because if I remember, Rupa Goswami uses praya for the queens,
Yeah.
but then there Vishwanath Chakravarti says praya means that some queens show and some queens do not show. Okay, then the same thing for the previous one also we should understand, because when he says intensification of prema, Samanjasa's anta is in anuraga, so intensification is not in the sense that it is really becoming Mahabhava, but some symptoms or...
Yeah, some similarity.
Okay.
That's what he's saying. So, yadva vaishnim vishnos tasyaiva krishnasya bhavonumad praudhimna tadatme mayim rasa antardhane braj sundariya. So, at the time when Krishna appeared, disappeared in the Rasa Leela, then they attained this state of oneness because of the unmad praudhimna, because of the heightened state of madness out of love. So Vraj Sundariyo Nana Prashnadi Anantaram. So after they asked various questions to the Tulsi plant, to the Kadamba tree, to the river and so on, then Unmadasya Praudhimna Yatha, then they attained this state of madness where they said, Krishnoham Pashyata Gati. I am Krishna, see how I am walking. So Krishna Tadatma Mayim Lebhire, they attained identification with Krishna. Tathaiva Etapi. So in the same way the queens also attained that type of state. Kuraryadi Prashnanantaram Tameva Ityartha. So first they asked questions like O Kurari, O Chakravaki and so on. And then when he says Iti, so this whole comment is Iti idrishena bhavena Krishna Yogeshwareshware, that with this type of bhava or love, heightened state of anuraga in Krishna, they attained Vaishnavi Gati. So therefore he says that after that, although it is not described as it is described for the gopis in chapter 30, it should be understood that. So Pam Vachitriadi Krishna Tadatmadi Dasa Anurag Vilasa Eva Yadu Maheshinam Anurag Pariyanta Dasa Śrīmad Ujjval Nilmani Vyakhyataye Nilmano Vyakhyataye. So he says that this state of Prem Vachitti and oneness with Krishna, this is manifestation of anurag only. So this is a heightened state, this is the ultimate limit of anuraga which moves towards Mahabhava. So Yadu Maheshinam Anurag Pariyanta, because he also maintains that in Ujjval Nilmani, Sri Rupa Goswami says that the Mahishis, the queens, their love reaches up to Anuraga. So that's why he says like that. So now he continues. Shrutmatropi yastrinam prasahya karshate manaha urugayo urugito va pashyanti nam kutah punah. He says that Krishna forcibly attracts the mind of women when they hear about him. Srutamatra, even just if they hear about him, their mind becomes attracted to him. Then what to speak of those who actually see him? So that is the Kamutya Nyaya. So Uru Bhir Gan Prabandhair Uru Yatha Syat Tatha Gita. So Uru Gita means sung with proper tal, raga and so on, proper composition of poetry. So that attracts the mind. And then what to speak of those who actually see him personally. Pashyanti nam tu kuta iti sabda stuarthe. So this kuta sabda is in the sense of tu, which means what to speak of. Yeah. Prabandha means composition. And then Uru Gita, sung like that. Uru Gaya and Uru Gita. So Uru Gaya says Uru Bhir Gan Prabandha means poetic composition, and then it is sung.
First Uru means
Uru Gaya and Uru Gita. Uru Gaya means that it is properly composed in poetry. Gaya means poetic. And then Uru Gita, and then it is sung nicely. Ya samparya charan premna pad samvahanadibhi jagat gurum bhartri buddhya tasam kim varnate tapaha. So those queens who out of love performed various types of personal service to Sri Krishna, such as massaging his feet. Krishna, who is Jagat Guru, the teacher of the world, and thinking of him as their husband. So what can be described about them? What austerities they must have performed to attain such a situation. So tasam kim varnyate tapa. Tasam kim varnyate tapa is a question that how can their tapasya be described, means it is not possible to describe because he cannot be attained by any tapasya. That is one meaning. Another meaning he says is that tasam kim tapo varnyate naiv varnyate, that their austerities cannot be described. Why? Because they are nitya siddha. Kintu nitya siddha evata iti bhava. They did not attain him by performing some tapasya, austerity, some sadhana. They are eternal queens. So therefore, how can you describe what they did to achieve him? Because they did not do anything. Or alternatively, say yadva tasu madhye kasanchit sadhan siddhanam kidrish praktanam tapa iti ched atraha sa iti. Where is the sa? There is no sa. Must be ya. So, or the meaning is that the verse is speaking about not the Nitya Siddha queens, the eternal queens, but those who attained the position of queen by performing sadhana. So then the question is that what can you say about the intensity of the sadhana they must have done to achieve this position, that they got the opportunity to be Krishna's wives and then do personal service to him. Evam vedoditam dharmam anutishtan satam gatihi griham dharmartha kamanam muhusya darshayat padam. So this is a very interesting verse which Sukadeva Goswami says. So he says that in this way the various dharmas which are described in the Vedas, then Krishna, who is the destination of the saintly devotees, he executed this dharma while being situated in the family life. And dharmartha kamanam muhusya darshayat padam. And he executed dharma, artha, kama while remaining in family life. Not that he ran away, he gave up, he took sannyas, became avdhuta, tam pravajantam anupetam apayate krityam. So people listen to Krishna's stories and they give up. Bahava bhakshu charyam charanti. Many people become bhikshus, beggars, sannyasis, renunciates, but he himself remained in the family life, and he showed that how even in the family life you can execute all these dharma, artha, kamas without any problem. Swapadam sthanam astitasya param dharmam krishnasya grihamedhinam asam sodasahasram mahishyascha satadhikam. When Krishna was situated in this param dharma, in this supreme dharma, although he was in the married life, but he was still engaged in dharma. Astitasya param dharma, Krishnasya. So Krishna, who is being situated in this family life, he executed the dharma of the grihamedis, means married people, and he was not married to one or two wives. He had 16,108 asan sodas sahasram mahishyascha satadikam. So this only he can perform such an act. There is nobody else who can do something like this. That's why yesterday the question was being asked that is this activity, this type of activity performed by Rama or Narayana? So we know that in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Jal Nilmani, 4 types of Nayakas, Preeti Sandarbha also. So to perform this type of activity, you have to be Dhir Lalita, not Dhirodatta. Narayana, Rama, they are Dhirodatta heroes. So therefore they are Ek Patni Vrata, gentle, dharmic, sober looking, grave. That is the meaning of Udatta. And Dhir Lalita is one who is involved with many women. So that is only Krishna, no one else. So that's being described here now, Dhir Lalit Krishna. Tasam Sriratna Bhutanam Ashtau Yah Pragudahritaha Rukmani Pramukha Rajan Tatputrascha Anupurvashaha. Also, out of these 16,108 gem-like women, 8 were described earlier, headed by Rukmani. So we had that Rukmani, Satyabhama, Jambavanti, Kalindi, all that. So 8 of them were described, and their sons were also described, right? Each one had 10 sons. So they were described in that order. Ekekasyam das das dasha dasha Krishno ji janataja atmajan yavatya atmano bharya amogha gatir ishvara. So he had 10 sons, not only from the 8 principal queens, but from all of them. So 16,108 multiplied by 10 is 1,60,000, right? 100. How much it will be? 61,080. That many children. So 160,180 children. 61,080. So that's a lot of children. Right? What is the population of Vrindavan? Is it that much? Maybe not. So whole of Vrindavan, what you see, Krishna only had that many children, and then they were all married, and they had their wives and children, and each one had few children. So that's being described now. This is uncountable. So that's why he says Amogha Gati Ishvara. His Gati, his ways are infallible. So that's why he is called Ishvara. Only Ishvara can do. So ya Rukmani pramukham ashtau tav dadhita ukta tat putrascha vadharita. So he just comments that earlier they were all described, the 8 principal queens. Amogharati avyartha kama. So he has Amogharati and we have the reading as Amoghagati. So it is Amogharati, it seems, not Rati. Avyartha kama, avyartha sankalpa. Means his wish never fails. Tesam uddam viryanam ashtadasha maharathaha asan udari yasya tesham namani meshunu. So out of this 161,080 children, 18 were Maharathas. They were great fighters, famous, they were well known, their fame spread all around. So he says, now listen to their names. So these are the names. Pradyumnascha Aniruddhascha Deeptiman Bhanurevacha Sambho Madhubriyat Bhanu Chitra Bhanu Vrikoruna. So Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Deeptiman, Bhanu, Samba, Madhu, Brihad Bhanu, Chitra Bhanu, Vrika, Aruna. So this Anuruddha is not son of Pradyumna. Anuruddha was also Krishna's son. One of Krishna's son whose name was also Aniruddha. And Pradyumna's famous son is also Aniruddha. So these are two separate. And Puskaro Veda Bahuscha Sruddeva Sunandanaha Chitra Bahu Virupascha Kavir Nigrodhevacha. So 10 of them were mentioned in the previous sloka and the remaining 8 are mentioned here. So Pushkara, Vedbahu, Shrutadeva, Sunandana, Chitrabahu, Virupa, Kavi and Nyagrodha. So these are 18 sons which are superior. And then others there, all Maharathis. Now among them also, Pradyumna is the best. So that is being described here. Etesham api Rajendra Tanujanam Madhudvishaha Pradyumna Asit Prathama Pitri Vad Rukmani Sutaha. Among these 18, so out of 161,080, 18 were best or best superior to others. Among the 18 also, the topmost is Pradyumna. So he is called Tanujanam Madhudisha. Among all the sons of Krishna, Pradyumna is the first. And he was just like his father, and he was born from Rukmani Sutta Pitrivad. Sa Rukmino Duhitaram Upye me Maharatha Tasmat Suto Niruddho Abhun Nagayuta Balan Vitaha. And he married the daughter of Rukmi, that is his maternal uncle's daughter, Pradyumna. So they all, grandfather, father, himself, 3 generations were married in the same family. Krishna was married to Rukmani, then Pradyumna was married to Rukmani's niece, and then Anuruddha was married to the grandniece. So they all in the same, all 3. Granddaughter of Rukmi. Aniruddha married that. So Aniruddhanam api kaschit putra eva gyeya putra prakarnat. Aniruddha was also name of the sons. Why is he writing this here? Sa Rukmano Aduhitaram Premahanuta Tasmat Sato Aniruddha Bhut. So he has married the daughter of Rukmi, and from that Aniruddha was born, who had the power of 10,000 elephants. Sachapi Rukminaha Pautrim Dohitro Jagrihe Tataha Vajrastasya Bhavadiyastu Moshaladavasheshitaha. And then Aniruddha married the granddaughter of Rukmi. And from that the son was born whose name was Vajranab. And when there was this Mausal Leela performed where everybody was killed, it is the Vajranab who was survived, and he was brought to Hastinapur, and then he is the one who became the king of Mathura. And then this Mathura was again repopulated. Otherwise for long time, for maybe 100 years, this became vacant. It's described on some Purana that one Vajranab king, if there was nobody. Now is describing the dynasty of Vajranab. Pratibahu rabhut tasmat subahu tasya cha atmaja subahu shantaseno bhuj shatsenastu tatsuta. The son of Vajra was Pratibahu. Pratibahu's son was Subahu. Subahu's son was Shantasena. And Shantasena's son was Shatsena. Naye tasmin kule jata adhana bahu prajaha alpayusholp viryasya abramanyasya jagire. In this family there was nobody who was poor or who did not have children or who lived short life or who was weak or who was not devoted to the Brahmanas. Yaduvans prasuta nam pumsam vikhyat karmanam sankhya na shakyate kartum api varshayute nripa. Sukadeva Goswami says that, O king, the people who were born in the family of the Yadus and who were famous for their activities, their number cannot be counted, even if I count for 100 years. This such big family. So not possible to count. Jiva Goswami writes, Atev Sri Mathureshu Prasiddhiriyam Baddha Mukta Rajana Eva Yadava Shat Panchashat Kotaya. It says this is a popular saying that Yadavas who had the diadem on their head, they were 56 koti, which means 560 million. That many. So we'll stop here. He will give some more amazing numbers about the Yadavas, which is just unbelievable that there can be so many people. And where did they live? And where did they eat? How many kitchens? How many places? And then their children. And then they all died in Mausal Leela.
Babaji, according to one of the website, it says there are 89,000 people in Vrindavan in 2025.
89,000. Okay. So Krishna has 161,000 children.
Children, yeah.
So more population than Vrindavan.
There is a question from Mohini. It says, in what circumstance or condition does Anurag and Prem Vaishitya arise in gopis and queens? I mean, does it also arise when they are in the company of elders like Yashoda, Nanda, or Kirtida and Vrishabhanu Maharaj? Or in the presence of Vasudev and Devaki for the queens?
Okay, why don't you answer it yourself? What do you think?
I think it is not possible.
So why are you asking then? Then why do you ask it?
I was not really sure.
You are very sure. You gave the answer immediately without blinking an eyelid, and you are saying you are not sure. How is it possible? You think your mood will be like that with your lover or your husband when their parents are there?
No.
So, it's same thing. Different moods manifest in different circumstances. Rajananda.
Forgive me to refer to a recent lecture I could not attend. In the previous chapter, it's about the Krama Mukti and the 8 layers of Mahabhuta, whether around our universe or covering a cluster of universes. In the second case of the cluster, those the Jiva can wander from his present universe to another.
From where are you reading?
Excuse me?
Are you reading from somewhere or you are asking a question?
I'm asking my question I had prepared previously because it's a little bit complicated. So does he stay in the same universe as long as he is not liberated? Or in the case of the layers around the cluster of universes, because you mentioned that there were 2 cases, whether around one universe or around the
No, what is
cluster
it?
of universes.
Please state your question. What is your question?
My question is about the Jiva. In the case of the cluster, in the case of the cluster, is the Jiva is staying in the same universe or is wandering in another universes until is
No, you remain in the same universe because your karma is related to people in that universe.
Okay. Yes. And I have another question, please. But we'll get it. To whom is directed the prema that the bhaktas wants to obtain? Is it to the Brahma Krishna or to the Krishna in the heavens who was visited by Arjuna previously?
Whose prema?
The prema of the bhakta who he wants to develop is developing the prema toward which Krishna, the Brahma Krishna.
Which Bhama Krishna?
Krishna
Who is Bhama Krishna? Who is Bhama Krishna?
The Krishna who was with Arjuna when he visited Krishna in the heavens.
I don't know what you are saying. I mean, Krishna is Krishna. What is this Bhama Krishna?
In these chapters, it was described that they were visiting Krishna to obtain the 9 children, and they went up to this Krishna in the skies. But Krishna went to Arjuna to have the darshan of this Krishna.
He is not Krishna. He is not Krishna. He is Bhoma Purusha. He is a form of Vishnu with 8 hands. He is not Krishna.
Yes.
So what is the question? Why are you calling him Krishna? Krishna is 2-handed form and that Bhoma Purusha is 8-handed form.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, Narottam.
Babaji, according to Govind Chand Pandey, in pre-industrial India, the population was between 20 and 100 million. When we read these verses from Bhagavatam, shall we understand that these numbers are hyperbole or just a literal exaggeration, or shall we understand that when Krishna is present here, then his abode is also here, so that means the dimension is not the same as we have with our senses, that we experience with our senses.
So this is just to explain, we keep on hearing that God is unlimited, right? So if He is unlimited, then we should not become doubtful about these numbers. Anything is possible for Him, and this is just to show that. So if it was not Krishna, if it was a description of some earthly king or anybody, then we will say it is in hyperbole. But when it comes to Krishna, He being unlimited, Ananta, so therefore, what is this sound coming? So this is possible. Okay. All right.
Just to clarify, this Aniruddha, who was the son of Pradyumna, so he married the granddaughter of Rukmi. Granddaughter of Rukmi means the Rukmini's son's daughter.
अरे रुक्मी's son's daughter यार क्या बोल?
Sorry, Rukmi's son's daughter.
Yeah. That's what grandson means.
रुक्मी का जो पौत्री है उससे.
इसमें क्या परेशानी है?
वो रिलेशनशिप थोड़ा कॉम्प्लेक्स था, समझ नहीं आ रहा.